Oh my gosh, 3 million people are watching right now.
You're lying. Stop the cap. This isn't like
We're gonna have like 2 whole people watching tonight, guys. So
Find it.
yeah.
That's a lot.
Right. I'm about to go full-time YouTube. Huh?
Yes.
Type in 180 youth, all one word, all lowercase. And if it doesn't tell you, it should say like in blue letters. Okay, can I see your phone? Can I see your phone?
Oh wait, I'm not.
Okay.
I think I've seen her. She does not.
How's this look?
What? It says it's live.
I'm gonna show you what tape. I think I've seen
YouTube.
There's audio.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Can you hear it?
How
Okay, good.
become an ASMR?
Alright, so. Oh, wait, I gotta get the trailer pulled up. Hold up. Let me get this going.
people that are watching.
Yeah, Shay's one of the 2. I told you we'd have 2 people watch. Now, I was like, okay, I normally record it, but like if you legitimately had to miss because you were sick and you really wanted to watch it, you don't want to have to wait a whole nother day. You want to watch it with everybody, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll do it even if it's only one person. You know, I'll be nice. Okay. So if you guys were to guess, while I'm getting the trailer pulled up, by the way, I want y'all to put y'all's phones away during the lesson. And Shay, can you hand these out? I have 1-page notes for y'all to fill in the blanks for. I know y'all love doing that, so you can follow along as I'm teaching.
I'm gonna do it on the ground because I can't.
Whatever makes you comfortable, all right? I'm not going to judge.
Now's the time to use it.
Yep.
I'll go.
When you go ahead and show the... Oh.
I have to get up. Dang, Tyler, you know what's
Does everybody just have to go at once?
I told them they need to go half the time. So
I don't get it either.
Tyler doesn't understand.
what is he not?
I really don't. I really
Oh,
don't.
that's true. They really do. I mean, girls do go together. It's
Can
like
you text Caitlin? Caitlin, let them know that we're live if they want to watch. I forgot.
I'm just gonna share it with them.
We
Yeah,
can
you can do that.
actually
Share
have
the
2
link.
viewers.
All right. Well, to my faithful men and Jade, who do not go to the restroom, I want to ask you. I'll ask y'all. I'm not going to show the trailer yet. I want to wait for them to get back. What? You have a question? Where are the pins? Oh, they're over there. Hey, Jade, do y'all have pins? Can you pass that down to them so they can have pins?
No.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Shay? Thanks for tuning into the live stream tonight. We got a good show for you. Tuned and ready to go.
Just keep it. I want to be closer to Shay.
That's good. All right, everybody has a pen now? Leftovers. Appreciate it. All right, obviously don't try to fill in the blanks yet because you're not going to know. But for those of y'all who are here, I have a question though. So Jake, Micah, Charles, Jade. All right, what do you think, without looking, well, never mind, I already gave you the notes, so it wouldn't even make any sense to ask the question. I'm going to say, what do you think the series is about?
No idea.
Take a guess.
Take a guess, Jade.
Take a guess. Clayton, what do you think?
Yeah.
Love, wow. Nailed
Sentence
it.
that has the
Nailed
word
it.
guess in it.
Waiting on them. You know, there's only like 2 toilets in the girls' restroom, but like 5 of them went.
Yeah.
How's that work?
Part of it's
Might wanna
moral
explain.
support.
Clearly.
Like, for real though. Hannah!
Hannah, you made it. We thought you died.
I did.
Hannah, are you planning on coming to the escape room?
Sunday? After church?
It's after church, right?
$10.
after church?
$10. You should.
If you are, we need to know by the
Tonight.
end of tonight.
Just ask your
Go-
parents.
you can
Make sure they're
ask
cool
your
with it.
parents after church. Ask your mom or your dad after church.
My mom asked me, she was like, okay, are you going?
Well, who's taking care of you?
My,
Okay. Well, double check with her.
at Jake's house this weekend.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
His mother isn't.
So, Jacob, are you planning on coming? Okay. LOL, we're now at 12
that's it? You sure there's not more?
right now.
No, 11, because you can't help.
Jared, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'll go. Your hair's getting really long.
I need to cut it, Dad. It's like,
I
it's like.
have no eyebrows.
Why? Oh, is it because your glasses?
Yeah.
Your glasses are cute. Are those new?
Yes, they are.
They're really cute.
Oh, look.
They're really cute.
I didn't even change the slide on the live stream. It wasn't even looking at me the whole time. That's sad. Well, what's up, Shay? Still Shay.
Yep.
Still only Shay.
Still only Shay. What's up, Peyton? We have a full house. We're probably might need more chairs. Is there any more chairs over there?
Yes, give them the baby chairs.
Nope.
There's one there next to you.
You can come sit here. I want to give them to you. Okay, you can sit here. Hey Peyton, we are going to an escape room on Sunday right after church. An escape room. Oh, you can go? Okay. Hey Jared, I didn't even see you working.
I literally said out loud, "Hey, Jaren, did I not?"
Okay,
She
my
just
brain
ignores
must have been
everybody.
absent. So we're going to the escape room right after church on Sunday. If you want to come, we need an answer by the end of the night. So I don't know. Talk to Karen right after church and ask her. But we'll just need another night because we have to book the room. Escape room is really cool. Basically, it's this room.
Come on.
And
I don't know if you got shot. You're out there in an active battle zone.
and you're trying.
Welcome back. Welcome back to this posse.
To get to the prize. The prize is escape.
We're gonna have to use all of the chairs, so everybody grab a seat. Jaren, you might have just stole Jalen's chair. She's gonna beat you up.
Basically,
Better watch out.
there's different kinds of keys and hints and clues, and you're all working together.
Okay, everybody has a seat, right? It should be good.
It's really fun.
Okay,
It's really fun.
everybody has notes. Jaren, Hannah, have some notes down. You already have on your sheet, don't you? Or is that Emma's? Emma, you cannot.
But
Jaren, Hannah, or Jaren, you want to get this? Bring one to Hannah. You. Here's pens. Peyton, we're doing a fill in the blanks.
there's pens right there.
Can you give one to Hannah? Do you have a pen?
I heard the same like I heard at camp.
I was laughing.
Are you okay?
No, I need
I wouldn't hand it to her. Well, she almost caught it, so that counts.
Okay, baby.
Okay, hey, we got a full house tonight.
Okay.
I'm glad. Everybody go ahead and take a seat.
I love all these people. This
Yeah.
is so good.
I want this, hey,
It makes me happy.
I want this every single Wednesday night and every Sunday. If y'all will come, we can all have fun together. Is it so much better when all these people are here?
Love it.
All the strangers that you don't know? Huh?
You just use your
That's
mirror.
It all is at the last minute. That's okay though.
Ow!
By the way, just as a reminder, anytime we have a service ever and you need a ride, we have a church van for a reason. Okay, so hey, if everybody's ready, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start a new series tonight. I Don't Love You Like That. I'm going to show y'all the trailer, so I need y'all to obviously, not talk or preferably breathe for like a minute and a half. And then so we can see the trailer.
I can't do that, Tyler.
All right?
And if I see
Okay.
phones, or y'all on your phones, I'm fine if it's late next to you. But if I see
Yeah,
phones,
just
you
don't-
getting on them, then I'm gonna take them, and then you have to wait till the end.
Yeah, you don't need your phones.
I don't
Don't
even
do
know.
Focus. Don't look at your screen, look at this screen, all right?
We trust you.
So that being
We don't
said,
use
Clayton, can you
trust.
turn this row of lights off? Just this one would be good. So it's the first light switch. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. First one. No, the second one. Nope.
Tyler doesn't.
Okay, no, it is the duct tape one. You have to put it back when it's done. You want to stay there and you put it back? Okay. All right, I'm going to show you the trailer. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
It's cool.
It's a movie trailer, all right? You get it? Hold on.
Come on, Tyler, get it together.
Hold on.
Awkward silence.
I'm good. I'm good.
The profound caring one individual to another, whether that's wife, husband, spouse, child, stranger on the street.
It's never having to say you're sorry, but I don't believe that at all because I feel like you say you're sorry a lot.
Love to me is the greatest marketing campaign ever invented.
This is a physical manifestation of love. This is glorious and beautiful, and any God which denies me for this, I don't want to have a part of.
Don't love you like that. Okay, so Clayton, could you go ahead and turn the slide back on for me? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tyler made that, bragging on him.
yeah,
He did a good job.
made it for y'all.
Good job, Tyler.
You got it? Tape it really good. Tape it really good. Okay, so this series that I created, it's called I Don't Love You Like That. Here's why I made this. Because in our culture today, we have a lot of different ideas of what love is. And a lot of it causes confusion, and people will use terms like, you need to be loving to people, and we kind of really have this vague sense of what love even means. So what I want to do first, before we go anywhere else, before I explain anything else, on the first thing on your notes, it has a thing for you to, I want you to fill in your own definition of love. What do you think love means? What is love? So go ahead and put in your own definition. Again, I'm not asking you to quote me Bible verses. Unless you know some, you can. But just what do you think love is if you were to guess? All right? And when y'all are done, I want to hear some answers, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know when.
I had some.
Yeah, me too.
Come on, think hard. Think hard.
Man, Tyler, this is really hard.
No, it's just so difficult.
too.
I didn't even pay attention in school. What makes
Especially
me
in
do
my
this?
advisory class.
Y'all got it?
I haven't even started. I think I'm about to turn into a.
All right. Has anybody gave an answer yet? Raise your hand. You didn't write anything?
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
What do y'all think? Anybody? Y'all writing in an entire book or something.
Yes, I am.
Y'all are trying to we need to sound really smart.
Definition. Depends on how you take it.
There is different definitions. This is true.
I have this word, but I'm not
What do y'all think? Has anybody got it done yet? Anybody gave me at least one? Clayton, hold on. What do you think love is?
Love it true.
Love is true. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I'm trying to I know what I'm gonna say, but I don't know.
But you have something written down. Can you read that?
It's literally.
I got it.
It's literally
Okay. Jalen, what do you think love is?
Love means caring for each other, being able to count on each other, trust each other, and having someone you need when there's hard times.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was my next answer.
So it's, in a nutshell, you would say love is counting on someone else, Jalen? Love is counting on someone. Anybody else? Any other?
It's not counting, but having someone you can count.
Having someone you can count on. Okay, Jade, what do you think?
Well,
God is love.
Okay, hon, y'all listen.
Well, God is love, but love is also when you give grace to somebody, because
Okay.
y'all connect and bond. That's love too. When y'all have a positive relationship, friendship, whatever.
So, okay, so it's like a friendship would be a kind of love. Okay. Anybody else? Any? I need at least one more. I want to hear at least one more. Hey, when somebody else is talking, you're not. Micah. Strong affection for someone. Okay. Now here is, so just so y'all know, so part of the motivation for making this series is because there's so many different ways to try to describe this one word. You look in the dictionary, and there's not a consistent definition of what love means. These are some of the other common definitions that I've heard. Well, love is love. What is love? Love is love. Okay? Or some people others said, love, it's the answer, right? Love is the answer. Ever heard that saying before? Love is the answer. Well, because, hey, maybe sometimes hate is the answer, I'm just kidding. All right, love has no labels is another popular saying. Love has no labels. What do y'all think that, if you're just a guess, what do you think that means? To say love has no labels?
if you say it has no labels, you're labeled.
That's true. If you're saying love has no labels, well, aren't you labeling it as having no labels?
Yes, because love is labor.
Labor, yeah. And then another common saying I've heard is love knows no bounds. Love knows no bounds. It's unlimited. It has no boundaries. You just love, man. It just powers the world. It has no bounds. Limitless. All right, so we have all these sayings. Hey, I need y'all to listen. Hey, listen. I cannot fight with all 15 of y'all, so I need y'all to listen. Okay? So we have all these different definitions. We have all these different sayings. Some of them maybe sound cute. Some of them are a little confusing. What does that even mean? But here's the ultimate problem. All right? And this is really why I wanted to do this series right here. Culture doesn't know what love is. Most people have absolutely no clue. They will give you an idea, or they'll maybe say it's a feeling, or an emotion, or something to that effect, but they can't give you a definitive answer of what love is. And that promo video I showed you guys at the very beginning, that there was a question asked to these people, what do you think love is? And the second person who was the chick with the blonde hair, she's like, love is never having to say you're sorry. But I don't actually believe that, because I think you say you're sorry a lot. It's like, then what are you saying? It's like, what do we think love is? It's like most people cannot give you a very clear definition. And I think most people, the reason they can't is because they've never actually studied what love is. Most of us would probably say it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's some sort of affection, right? But I want to talk about what the Bible has to say. But before I go on, let's talk about the culture a little bit more. So there are three main things of how people describe love. One, the first thing, they often describe it as a feeling. Like I just said, yeah, the letter A, it's abstract. Just kidding. The first thing, they usually say it's a feeling. They don't say it's a feeling, they say, well, actually, it's like an emotion, right? Something that just, it's like anger or hate, but they're like love. And some people say it's like a passion. So something you're passionate about, it's an obsession, it's something that you're just gets you going. This is how most people would describe it, like I just mentioned. So I want you guys to have that for your notes. Okay, but here's something that I think is also a big problem. Is love, notice it's in quotations, is weaponized. You know what the term weaponized means? It means it is used against you. You're like, Tyler, how can love be used against you? Well, I'm not saying actual love is weaponized. I'm saying our culture's understanding of love is weaponized to do these things. First thing, to keep you from telling the truth. Have you ever seen a situation where maybe a sibling or friend or somebody you trusted did something horrible, were going to get themselves in trouble, and in order to cover it up, they wanted to lie. And they wanted you to lie for them. And you're like, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that because, no, I'm not going to cover up what you did. And they're like, no, if you loved me, right, you would protect me. Don't say that. And maybe in other contexts, have you ever tried to tell a friend the truth about something? Maybe there's a legitimate problem in their life and you're trying to help them. And you're like, hey, you really should stop doing that. That's not good. That's going to hurt you. And they say what? Stop judging me. That's not very loving. It's not loving. So people will try to use this vague idea of love to keep you from telling them the truth that they don't want to hear. If they're offended, they'll tell you that's not loving. It's not love to tell someone an uncomfortable truth that they don't want to hear. That's the first way that love can be weaponized. Here's the second way. Force you to comply with other people's demands. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard of young people, especially, I'm still young myself, 24, not that old. I know some of y'all think I'm a grandpa. I know. But when I was in youth group, I remember talking with so many friends, other people that I knew, and I remember hearing a lot of stories of they would get into these dating relationships and their significant other who wasn't really a Christian, who they shouldn't have been dating in the first place, started telling them, hey, if you aren't willing to go to second base, to go the next level physically, then you don't love me. If you're not willing to touch me this way, then why don't you love me? Do y'all see how manipulative that is? Telling someone that if you really love me, you would do what I want you to do. So love can be weaponized that way to try to get you to go along with something that you don't feel comfortable doing. A lot of times people use that vague idea of love to try to get you to go along and comply with what they demand of you. make you feel bad if you don't. And of course, in the last way that love is weaponized is to prevent you from having certain beliefs. I cannot tell you guys how hard it is to just simply state what I believe as a Christian without somebody getting mad at me. Now, y'all aren't really who I'm talking about. But I know some people, man, that just simply stating what the Bible says is enough to get them up in arms. How dare you say that you believe marriage should be between a man and a woman? That's not what a loving Christian would say. Marriage can be between anybody. Doesn't matter the gender. They'll accuse me of being hateful for simply having a belief that disagrees with them. We live in a culture today where people cannot simply just disagree about something. If you disagree, it's because you're an evil person who hates them and you're basically like the next version of Hitler, right? You can't possibly believe in traditional marriage. You can't possibly think and believe in things of God without being some sort of evil person that's just hateful all the time, right? They want us to have a version of Christianity that is completely accommodating to their sin. And if we aren't willing to do that, then they will say that we're not loving as Christians. Well, Jesus was super loving and He didn't judge people. Well, what do you mean by that? He told people that called them out on their sin all the time. You're saying Jesus is loving and I need to be like Jesus. Well, didn't Jesus call out sin? Didn't Jesus say that marriage ought to be between a man and a woman? Didn't Jesus talk about these things? But we live in a culture today where the people's own idea of what love is will try to cause them to tell me to shut up because they'll say, you're not loving enough. You're not loving according to my standards if you believe that. You're not a loving person. So y'all see how our culture's understanding of love can be used to manipulate you, right? Y'all see how that's possible? Have you ever been in a situation where any of these things have happened to you? Where somebody's tried to manipulate you into doing something and saying, you don't love me, you're not really my friend if you don't do this? I've been in a situation like that. Right? Maybe even parents, maybe in the heat of the moment. If you love me, you would take out that trash. You say you love me, I'm your mama, but hey, you don't do that, then you don't love me. All right? Hey, even parents sometimes fall into that trap of using it as a weapon, right? Okay. So we see the problem. In the way that our culture understands what love is, it can be used as a weapon. You have a question?
You should tell my mom that to not.
Oh, hey, listen. I want y'all to listen to the series, and then what you learn from it, I want you to apply it. And if you have to have a hard conversation, you can. But I'm not just going to be going to y'all's parents and be like, well, listen here, buddy. That's not my. Hey, listen. I teach y'all. But hey, if we need to do an intervention, hey, I've done it before. All right. Anyway.
You have?
But here's the deal. God tells us what love is. All right. God tells us what love is. Okay? So this is what this series is about. Going to the Bible and seeing what are the different biblical kinds of love. What is love as defined by the Bible? And it might surprise you, there are actually 4 different kinds of love in the Bible. And here they are. Here are the 4 kinds of love. So you can write these down. The first is storge. This is the first one up here in the top left.
What kind of word is that?
It's Greek. These are Greek words. Okay? Storge. The second one is going to be philia. Or philia, however you want to pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced both. Huh?
I'm not writing these.
Write it like it's spelled up here, silly goose.
Not in the order you're saying.
You can write them in whatever order you want.
I know. That's what I'm doing.
Y'all like Greek. Storge. I swear, y'all are childish. All right. We have eros up here in the top right. And then lastly, we have agape. Have any of you guys heard of any of these types of love before?
I've heard of a god.
Heard of agape? You've heard of eros?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't heard none of those.
I haven't heard none of it.
How many of y'all have heard of agape at least? Ever heard of agape before? I have. Okay, now let's get back, folks. Back. We're getting a little rowdy. Y'all listen. So these are the 4 types of biblical love, and each one of these types of love is meant for different kinds of relationships. Did y'all know that the relationship between a mother and her daughter is different than the relationship between a wife and a husband? Did y'all know that there's a difference?
No.
Yeah, right. Right. Okay, we understand, hey, in different relationships, when we use the word love, we don't always mean the same kind of love, right? when I say that I love Doritos, it's not the same sense as when I say I love Shay. There's a different kind of love. But here's the issue. In the English language, we only have one word for love, and that word is love. We don't have any words that make a distinction, and so that's what causes so much of this confusion. When people use terms like love is love as a way to say that you should be able to love whoever you want, it makes no distinction between love between family and love between a romantic partner and love between friends and love for food. Love is love. That doesn't explain what love is at all. In fact, it kind of causes confusion. It kind of blurs the lines of what we're actually talking about. So I want to show you guys this video. It's from this ad campaign called Love Has No Labels. Okay, and that's where this whole phrasing, hey, I need y'all to stop doing that. I need y'all to pay attention. It's from this ad campaign called Love Has No Labels. And their whole idea is they were trying to make the argument that you should not put a label or a distinction or a way to distinguish between different kinds of love. I want you guys to watch this video in full. And I want you guys to maybe spot how there's a lot of confusion in what it is that they're saying. So I'm going to go.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
My heart doesn't see race. Love has no age limit.
That's my best friend.
We are neighbors and best friends.
We all have different religions, but we have universal love as well.
I love my sister.
Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Get this switched over. I want you guys to think about something for a second. Now, not every relationship in there is something that the Bible would say is wrong. Is the relationship between two sisters, is there anything wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with a man and a woman being in love? No, but notice the word love. Did they make any distinction about those different relationships? No. The tagline is, love has no labels. They are literally making the argument that there is no difference between the love between sisters, the love between two childhood friends, and the love between two gay guys, the love between a mother and her son. They're saying it's all the same. It's clearly not the same. Do y'all see what I'm saying? These are way different kinds of love that we're talking about, but they're treating it as, love is love. Love has no labels. You can't put a label on it like best friend or sister or romantic partner. No. Love is love. Do y'all see how disturbing that is? And I want you all to think specifically about the fact that when you see the elderly couple and it says, love has no age. Now you're thinking, okay, maybe if the elderly couple, like they still love each other. But if we believe love has no age, guess who else that applies to? Minors. If love has no age, isn't that the exact thing that pedophiles say to defend their behavior? Well, you're saying that I can't have a romantic relationship with a minor? Well, what if they love it? Do y'all see the problem? When you say that love has no labels, here's the problem. I want you guys, here's the next thing in your notes. So first of all, here's the deal. Love looks different for different relationships. There are different kinds of love for different relationships. Okay? Now here's my ultimate challenge to this video. With no boundaries and no labels, all love is legitimate. With no boundaries, all love is legitimate. Now you're saying, but what's wrong with all love being legitimate? Well, that means we would have to accept pedophilia. That means we have to accept incest. That means we have to accept bestiality and homosexuality, adultery, because what if you don't love your spouse anymore and you want to cheat? Love is love, right? Love has no labels. Do y'all see the problem when we say love has no labels? What we're really saying is love should not have any boundaries. That love should not be, it doesn't have to match or be appropriate to the relationship. I can have whatever kind of love or feelings that I want to whoever I want, no matter how old, young, or what the relationship is to me. Do y'all see the problem now? Yes. It was cute at first because you're like, okay, but what's wrong with the sisters? That's not the issue. The issue is that they're treating the love between normal, healthy types of love as the same as love between adults and children. Now, of course, they wouldn't actually show an adult and a child together, but that's what they really mean. And that's why in the promotional trailer, maybe y'all saw those two little articles. One of the headlines, and this was an actual article that was written just a few years ago on a big mainstream website, and the article was written by an open pedophile. And the article headline was, "I'm a pedophile, but you're the monsters." And this guy went on to seriously argue that he may be attracted to children, but you know what? He can't help it. He was born that way. And everybody else who judges pedophiles and hates them and says that they need to be punished and stuff like that, they're the real monsters. This is where we're at in society, guys. That sounds scary. How many of you in here are freaked out by the idea of some older man having an interest in you and then nobody stopping them? Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Yeah. Hold on. Wait. No. Story later. Can you save it for later? Okay. Super fast. Say what you're gonna say.
I was snowboarding and these two older boys, not boys, but men. They were in their 20s, and they were on the ski lift, and I was snowboarding, and the guy said, "Are you single?" And I was like,
I'm 13.
I was like, well, sometimes you gotta remind older men that you're a kid. I was like, what if they knew I was a kid? I don't want to encourage that.
Yeah. No. We live in a very, very, very dark place in our culture where they have these cute advertisements that sound good, but when you think about it for more than 2 seconds, you're like, no, that's actually disturbing what that actually means if we drag it out to its conclusion. So here's the deal. God has given us boundaries. The 4 different types of love that we're going to cover in this series, one each week going forward, are going to be different kinds of relationships and how that type of love is meant to play in to that relationship. But I want to give you guys our theme verse for the series. It's really short and sweet. It's Romans chapter 12, verse 9. If you're putting the theme verse, you don't have to write out the whole thing. You can just write the reference. That way at least you know where it's at in the Bible. So Romans 12:9 says this: let love be genuine, abhor, or means hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good. Let love be genuine, hate what is evil, hold fast, means hold on to what is good. I could not think of a more perfect verse to fit this series. Because what I want to talk about with you guys is this right here. Here's the way Christian love. You don't have to write the whole verse. I said just write Romans 12:9. You can go read it later. You have a Bible, don't you? Can you not go look it up in the Bible? It's true. You're acting like this is the only place the verse exists.
At the end, we can have time to
Yeah.
go back to slides.
And we can go back. Okay, so here's how Christian love should look like. If we're listening to Romans 12:9, and as Christians, here is our goal based on Romans 12:9. First of all, our love should, 1, be genuine and real. Romans 12:9 says, let love be genuine. You know what that means? It means let it be authentic. Meaning don't ever fake or pretend to love someone just to get along with them. Your love should be genuine. When you talk about the love between your friends, there should be a genuine love for them. Love between your family members, there should be a genuine love for them. It should be real. Love between, eventually when you get married and have your own spouse, you should have real, authentic love. And lastly, in the form of love we're going to talk about, at the end of the series, agape, your love for God should be real. Okay, so your love should be genuine and real. Secondly, your love should be appropriate to the relationship. Your love and the kind of love that you have should match the relationship of the person. So love between friends and family and God and your spouse are all going to be very different. They're not all the same, right? They're all going to be very different. So your love should be appropriate to that relationship and not... The way that I love Shay it is never okay for me to love anybody else the way that I love Shay. There's a unique love there. It is never okay for me to love my brother the way that I love Shay. That would be some seriously messed up stuff, all right? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm setting the boundaries here. I'm setting the boundaries.
And your brother.
All right? And lastly, I'm just kidding. I love my brother like a brother, all right? It's that simple. It's that simple. Brother, I love you. Love you, bro. Love you, bro.
They say, like, one of the friends, they're like, no, they're like a brother to me. And then they end up dating them.
Yeah, whoa. So, like incest, though? No, yeah, I agree. That's weird. All right, hey, we're going to move on. Last thing, your love should place God first and hate perversion. Right? Because what does the end of Romans 12:9 say? It says, let love be genuine. And then it says, abhor evil, hate evil, and hold fast to that which is good. As a Christian, living in this era, living in this century, we know we live in a society where there's a lot of perverts. There's a lot of people who want to take advantage of our lack of understanding of what love means. And they want to try to say that all love is legitimate. And they're going to use these same arguments. Guys, listen, and I've said this a lot of times in this group. Maybe you've never heard me say it, but I'm going to say it now. The whole argument that the LGBTQAIP agenda relies on.
What are those extra letters?
They're all legitimate. You can look it up. That's the full thing. I'm not lying. I do my research. The whole argument ultimately comes down to this. I was born this way. Guys, pedophiles say the same thing. People who cheat on their wives say the same thing. I was just born to not, I can't just have one woman. I can't just have one guy. People will make any excuse in the world to pervert love so that they can go on and do sinful things. Guys, the Bible gives us very clear boundaries, but the ultimate form of love, as we're going to talk about at the end, is agape. And that's and listen, we're almost done. That's unconditional love. That's the kind of pure, sacrificial love that God has for us. That's what led Him to die on a cross for our sin. So in order for us to have genuine love as Christians, we have to start placing God first. Before we can get to anything else, if we are not willing to place God first and His Word first, then we're going to make love whatever we want it to be. If you're not willing to accept God's Word and you're not willing to accept it as the authority in your life, and you're going to say, no, I'm going to define love the way I want. That's fine, but you're not going to be able to ever have a good Christian love. You got to place God first, and you've got to hate the perversion. Hate it when people try to misuse love to engage in sin and perversion, like we talked about. Okay? So, that being said, this is our introduction night. It's light, it's easy, everybody got their notes done. So now y'all know what the series is about. Y'all got an idea of why this is so important. So, before we finish with our lesson part, we'll get on to some free time and games. Do you guys have any questions or comments about anything? About the videos, anything I said? Because now would be your time to do it. Because if you have some questions, hey, maybe I can answer those things throughout the rest of the series. So anything at all. Any questions, comments? Jaron, you got at least one thing to say? Don't lie. Okay. Well, if y'all are good, I want to say a word of prayer real quick. And we're going to be done with our lesson. And then it's only 7:35. The night is still young. We still got an hour left. So if you guys want to hang out, maybe get some ping pong going on.
We can play around the world.
Play around. Oh, we got a lot more paddles and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I want y'all to bow y'all's heads real quick. Bow your heads, close your eyes. Micah, Jalen, all y'all, bow your heads, close your eyes. I want to say a word of prayer, and we're going to be finished with the lesson for tonight. Dear God, thank you so much for everything you've done. God, I know that this subject is a pretty big one. God, and I want everybody in this room to be able to study love according to what the Bible teaches that it is. God, I want us to have a clear understanding of the different types of love and how they're for different types of relationships, God, so that we don't fall for these traps that love is love or that love has no labels. God, we want to push back against that and say, no, love has labels. It has very clear boundaries to what's appropriate, what's right, and what's healthy. And so God, I will pray that everybody in this room would be willing to have an open mind as we go into the Word of God through the rest of the series, to be able to have their ideas of love challenged, to make sure that it fits with what the Bible teaches. And God, that we can walk away as Christians, as Christians who are better at loving people in all the right ways, in all the appropriate ways, so that we can be an example of God's love for us on earth. In Jesus' name, amen.